In this video, I'm using Hellcurt. In this game, I'm a roamer, but later I'll use him in the gold lane. And even ML itself doesn't recommend it. Like seriously, Helcurt isn't even listed under the roam role, and there's even a warning if you pick him. But if you look closely, other assassins like Selena, Saber, and Natalia are there as roamers. But if you ask me, Helcurt is actually a better roamer than them in many situations. Like, if I played 10 straight games using each of those assassin roamers, I feel like I'd win more games with Helcurt. So this was my first rotation. And honestly, it's really good, especially if the enemy marksman doesn't have flicker. It's almost a guaranteed kill. But even if they do have flicker, you can probably still kill them, or at the very least, force them to use it. The only catch is your marksman has to cooperate, because let's be real, there are a lot of marksmen out there with zero patience. Instead of waiting, they just go and clear the minions like bots. Helcurt is a good roamer because he can rotate quickly, especially if your jungler is a utility type so you have someone to front for the team. Helcurt isn't dependent on the purple buff since his skills don't use mana or energy. He also doesn't really need that much cooldown reduction, except maybe for his ultimate. I just missed my aim here, that's why I almost died. Even at level 2, his skills are already good for poking. And as a roamer, you don't waste time taking jungle creeps like a jungler would. I've also seen some players use Hellcurt in the mid lane, and it's actually effective. As long as your team still has magic damage, like if your jungler or gold laner deals magic damage, since that's important. If you're a solo player like me and don't want to rely on your teammates, I swear, damage-type roamers are the best. They're better than tanks or supports, especially the ones that are good at pushing. Some damage-type roamers, like Kadita or Selena, aren't great at pushing since they usually deal magic damage. And I think assassins are better than supports when your team doesn't have a proper front line. A lot of players don't realize that support roamers only really work when you have a proper front line. Even fighter junglers or hybrid heroes, the ones with strong damage and good sustain like Alice or Alucard, can work really well. But if your jungler is an assassin and you're using a support, that setup can be really hard to play. Still, if the enemies are bad, you can make any lineup work against them. Hero composition only really matters when both teams are equally skilled or playing at a high level. If you have a bad teammate, or the enemy does, the comp doesn't matter as much. But it's still better if you already have an advantage just from the lineup. What's really important is that you're not the one dragging the team down. Anyway, if you want to use Hellcurt, his combo is pretty simple. It's just 1-2, 1-2. You can even auto-aim your second skill after using your first, because most of the time that's more effective than manually aiming it, which might just miss. Also, make sure you understand how his passive works. And I really don't get why Moonton doesn't recommend Hellcurt as a roamer. Aside from his fast rotations, his ultimate is a huge help to the team. I swear, if you're a squishy hero and you know you're visible on the map while you have no idea where Hellcurt is, that's honestly scary. You're going to feel nervous for sure. What I like about him more than any other assassin roamer is that he can split push faster than most of them. And as you guys know, I love pushing turrets. You can even check my profile. It's full of turret damage. It only really goes down when I use tanky or mage heroes. Of course, you also need to know your hero's capabilities. If your hero pushes slow, don't waste your time trying to push, unless it's really necessary and you've got nothing else to do. Mia was actually really strong in this game. She even got a double kill before they lost. As you can see, I built Sky Piercer here, even though you don't usually see me build that item. Well, I felt like Hellcurt needed it, because there are times when his damage just isn't enough and he can't burst down enemies. I think Sky Piercer is best on heroes with single burst damage, and it also depends on the state of the game, whether your team is ahead or not. But for heroes like Hayabusa or Helcurt, it's definitely a good item. Here we tried to burst down Valentina again, but because of the turret's damage reduction, our damage wasn't enough. Then Alucard showed up. I kind of relaxed, thinking he wouldn't chase me, but he actually did and ended up killing me. Still, we managed to kill him too, so it was a worth it trade. If you noticed earlier, the enemy marksman was Mia, and now it's Hanabi. Talk about getting lucky, right? 2 games in a row and both enemy marksmen were trash. Honestly, whenever I see that the enemy marksman is one of those trash marksmen, I immediately feel like it's a guaranteed win. Not gonna lie. Decision making is really important when you're playing. Good thing I stayed patient and waited for the enemies to use their skills and overextend. That's why I was able to get a double kill here. You also need to stay aware of your surroundings. For example, if you have a Helcurt teammate and you see him suddenly getting excited, it probably means there's an enemy hiding nearby in a bush. Or if one of your teammates enters a bush and the eye icon appears with a delay, that means there's an enemy close by. A lot of players still get confused about roles in ML. I think there are 2 types of roles: team roles and individual roles. Team roles are things like gold lane, X lane, mid lane, roamer, and jungler. But roamer doesn't automatically mean tank. Just like gold lane doesn't always mean marksman. Tank, marksman, assassin, those are more like individual roles or playstyles. The role of a roamer is to move around and help the team, not necessarily to tank all the damage. If you're playing an assassin, then your job is to eliminate key targets. And if you're in the gold lane, that doesn't automatically mean you have to be a marksman. Helcurt's passive is honestly super broken. It lets him do so many things. When he's in dark mode or the enemy doesn't have vision on him, he regenerates HP. His first skill's cooldown gets faster. He gets bonus movement speed, and his second skill even gains stacks automatically. Then if he does get revealed, he still gets a speed boost, both movement and attack speed. And when he gets a kill, it's like he farts out a smoke grenade and resets his passive all over again. Like seriously, that's a lot. Also, Helcurt's second skill is considered basic attacks, so it triggers attack effects like the passive of Demon Hunter Sword or Corrosion Scythe. And when you use a full stack second skill, it instantly maxes out those item effects too. That's why if you have a lot of HP and Helcurt has Demon Hunter Sword, he can easily take out half or even more of your HP with just 1 second skill.
Victory!
Anyway, in the last game of this video, I used Helcurt in the gold lane, and as you can see, my teammates started trash-talking me right away. But that's fine, they'll just embarrass themselves later. You know, I used to do the same thing, trash-talking teammates during the pick phase if I didn't like their hero choices, like when someone picks Layla or Zilong against heroes you know will dominate them. But I don't do that anymore because I might just end up embarrassed too. Just like my teammates in this game. You should wait and see how someone plays before judging or trash-talking them. Because honestly, getting carried by the person you trashed earlier, that's just embarrassing. I'd be ashamed of myself if that were me. I actually had a pretty good start in this game, but my bad luck started when I just couldn't manage to kill Moskov. The bad luck kept piling up. I died multiple times in a row and I was already starting to feel tilted in the game. My luck started to turn around when a low HP Ling happened to come my way, and I got a big gold boost from that kill. Then things started to go my way. I even almost got a Savage in this part. Could have been perfect gameplay if I got a Savage and killed the Lord. But that's alright. That's really Helcurt's playstyle. Go in and out and maximize his passive. Here, the enemy team was already taking the Lord and we couldn't catch up in time, so I just waited in the bush to see if anyone would pass by. And it turned out to be Ling. With a full stack Sky Piercer, Helcurt's damage was insane. Even Gatotkaka and Alpha felt super squishy, like they'd been boiling for hours. This was also one of those moments that I kind of regret. I used my Petrify on Moskov right away. If I didn't, I might have gotten a Maniac again. But that's just how it is. When you see a marksman, you really have to secure the kill fast, especially since that can almost guarantee a team fight win. Most of the kills ended up going to me in this game because of Sky Piercer. But that's alright, I was the gold laner anyway, and it's not like I didn't put in the effort to earn those kills.
I shall usher in Initiate retreat! Enemy double kill! Initiate retreat! All things. Monster kill!
By the way, I was using one of my low-rank account in this game. On my main account, it's really hard for me to get the gold lane. At least on this one, I have a higher chance since I've played a lot of matches as a gold laner here.